Is weird, odd, strange, or just plain bizarre is really your cup of tea? Then, the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast will give you that fix. Can't believe it? Well, listen for yourself as we deliver the strangest news you definitely won't find on CNN or Fox. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, brought to you by GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Staci.
And I'm your co-host, Sarah.
And I love the sort of weird crimes that we get on this show.
Oh, weird crimes. Always fun.
Like the Monopoly game one still just completely throws me off.
Yeah, it's not even like Darwin Award weird crimes, because that took some planning and some forethought.
That's an amazing thing, but also sort of like, but it's a paper sticker and it's
right.
worth a lot. It's worth real money, and yet somehow 12 years and nobody noticed, really. But this one, I feel like we're in the Monopoly thing. He had his whole crime like network of, prostitutes and drug lords and the Mormon family. It's like, if this one is not a crime network of college students, I don't understand. Because nearly $100,000 worth of ramen was stolen in Georgia. And I'm like, is that anyone else but college students?
Ramen you can get for like 20 cents a pack, on a sale. So how many packs of ramen is that?
That is enough to fill a truck trailer. So
I was just going to ask how you haul it. A truck trailer. Okay.
Yes. And now I'm just like, this would be like the rebooted version of Smokey and the Bandit, where instead of, illegal beer, we're hauling illegal ramen.
Illegal ramen.
Oh, man. But yeah, so the noodles were in a 53-foot trailer, and this was sitting in a parking lot at a Chevron, and the person with the trailer had permission to park it there.
Okay, so they just stole the truck. They didn't because see, I'm picturing them like going into a store and stealing this amount and filling a truck trailer, which that takes a lot of effort.
Well, see, now that brings up the logistics in the same way of, when you steal millions of dollars. So, that's actually probably kind of heavy. It's like, where would you put all of this ramen if you weren't actually just taking the truck trailer? You would need to rent a truck to fill with ramen.
Exactly.
To steal it all. And wouldn't somebody notice the many crates of ramen being okay?
In theory.
Yes, but no, so this was they stole essentially the whole truck trailer. And it's not clear when. It's sometime between July 25th and August 1st. Because I guess the truck trailer was parked then, and we noticed on August 1st it was no longer there, but we're not sure when it was stolen.
The driver had permission to park it wherever it was parked,
yes,
and then just left it there.
I guess so, because it's not like it's not a refrigerated truck, so
right,
you don't need it to get there in a certain time.
Still, yeah, usually truck drivers have tighter schedules than that. I would think.
It's like this, your personal thing. I hope this truck trailer person either is like, "Hey, I'm taking a vacation," or owns a store
or something.
It's like, why do you have a truck trailer full of ramen just sitting out for a week? That's a whole nother set of questions going on there.
Yeah.
Were they for the Chevron store, but they didn't have enough room to store it, so they're like, we'll just go get it as we
right,
need.
Because how many packs of ramen do you normally see in a gas station?
Right. Only
4.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not clear when this was stolen. Presumably it was stolen with another truck, right? I doubt you can attach a 53-foot trailer to your car and just be I'm going to drive it away.
Well, your engine would blow up.
Right. I think you would have to have at least an actual semi truck to do it. I don't even know you could do it with a pickup truck. Maybe?
I don't. Well,
I'm trying to envision now a 53-foot trailer, because there are those pickup trucks you see on the super heavy duty Ram. I have no idea about trucks where they've got the whatever that sits in the bed.
Right,
right.
Sort of you're trailer. Hauling a horse trailer or something.
Right, but, exactly.
Yeah, I don't quite know how much you can haul with a certain size of truck. Maybe. Yeah. But I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, and it's very nondescript. This is a white trailer with Maine license plates. Police have talked about that it was secured at the time. I'm not quite sure what that means, since obviously it wasn't that secure. Someone stole a whole trailer worth of ramen. But yeah, I'm just like, I remember hearing about someone who won a year's worth of ramen, and by the end of that year, they were like so sick of ramen.
Well, yeah.
And I'm just like, 100,000, like, is this...
Well, and ramen's not exactly good for you.
Oh, no.
You know, the level of sodium in there is just insane.
And it's like, is this multiple flavors of ramen? Is this all one flavor of ramen?
Oh, and is it like...
Then you'd really get sick of it.
Hopefully it's not the flavor you hate.
Oh.
You know,
or is this like, they plan to sell it? Is there a black market for ramen? Which
again, college students.
Right? I'm like, if there's anyone in that black market who's not a college student, I want to talk to you, because why? Like, I just...
And again, the black market, what are they selling it for? 15 cents a pack?
or you trade it for a different product and kind of like, hey, I've got some ramen. Do you got some like bugles?
I was thinking maybe test answers. That'd be a lot of ramen, but
I just, oh man, there's so many questions. This was like, it was brand name Ruchin ramen, but it's just like, it's ramen, and it's not like, a ramen restaurant ramen, in which case, we've done stories about like millions of dollars of fajitas being sold on the black market. So I can kind of see, like, if it was ramen restaurant ramen, maybe, again, strange black markets that exist for some reason. But the really cheap packaged ramen, 100, like, I'm wondering if the thieves knew it was ramen in the trailer.
Or if it's like, when you're stealing an Amazon box off somebody's porch.
Right. I hate
Could
you
be
people,
anything.
By the way, just why stealing? Like, normally I'm like, okay, that's books, and also often I didn't even pay for those books, so fine. I hope you read it and learn something.
Or like the quinoa flour story I told you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why? Seriously. But yes, I'm wondering if they were just like, hey, that truck trailer's been sitting there for a while, and then we're just like,
we should steal it.
I've got a thing that can pull it.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was like a drunken prank. Hey, that truck trailer's been there for a while. Let's steal it.
But I mean, that's still a setup for a drunken prank to pull a trailer.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
not exactly super spur of the moment. You do have to have the thing that can pull the trailer away, because it wasn't like they tried to steal it and failed. It was actually stolen.
I mean, did they
Authorities don't know where it is.
Did they steal a truck too?
Oh, man.
To haul it? I don't know.
And then... Yeah, and then what do you do with the trailer? Like, once you take out all the ramen, is the trailer just sitting somewhere out in the middle of, like, land in Georgia, just missing its lost ramen?
Aww.
Poor lonely trailer. It wants to go back to Maine. It didn't know coming to Georgia would be like this. We're not making up stories about trailers. Okay.
And, of course, trailers, that you can get them licensed in many different states depending on laws and fees and all that good stuff. So maybe it wasn't even from Maine.
I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah.
I still, in the same way, I never fully understood Smokey and the Bandit. One, because it was, quite a bit before my time. But two, wait, what? You can't do beer across state? What? I understand, like, the, person in their car, especially if that's an open container. Well, yeah, obviously they can't. But you don't sell beer across state? Most beers are, like, international, aren't they?
Well, blue laws are different for every state.
I didn't even know they were called blue laws. Look at how much Sarah's teaching me today. Do you have, like, any interesting ways to do ramen?
No. Aww. Like, interesting ways, like what? How to cook ramen?
Well, okay, so, like, I have seen, because there is evidently, like, a whole gourmet thing that happens even with just regular packaged ramen of, putting in, like, fresh herbs and bok choy and cheese and the egg, which I never quite understood. Because I'm like, I'd rather just eat the egg by itself. Why am I putting it in the ramen?
No, I never got that. The fanciest I got in college with my ramen was adding Catalina dressing, which is, not really fancy.
What?
Mm-hmm.
The fanciest for me, I actually don't like packaged ramen as ramen. I'll eat the cup of noodles, but the ones that come in the package, I'll actually eat like potato chips.
Oh,
I'll break them into pieces and sprinkle them and shake it up.
I will often eat little pieces before I boil it. Yeah,
but yeah, once it's been boiled, like there's something where the noodles have to be a certain level of not cooked, and then once they get past that, they're mushy, and I don't like. So I always like the cup of noodles because I would never wait the full 3 minutes. But when you're boiling, it's harder to do that because you have to, put them in boiling water. So it's just like potato chips. That works.
Potato chips.
I also did go through a period in middle school where I ate cup of noodles for breakfast and then came home and ate cereal for a snack.
Weirdo. That's why you're the host of the show.
Right? It was middle school. Isn't everyone weird in middle school?
I'm sure.
I'm sure we're all super, super weird at that time of our lives. So, yeah, still don't quite know what exactly is going on with the story. I don't think authorities have found the perps they're looking for. I really do want to hear the interview for this of what was the reasoning for stealing the ramen and then what did you do with it? Because if there is a specific reason for you knew it was ramen and you specifically wanted that ramen, why? And if you didn't know it was ramen and you stole it, then what do you do with all that ramen?
Right.
So why?
Did you just dump it somewhere?
Aw. At least dump it at a food shelter, even though, again, not great food, but it's, it probably will not spoil ever. So
that and Twinkies surviving the apocalypse.
Right, yes. So we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. We went out on the last segment talking about things that last forever, which makes this news story very interesting. Not quite forever, but still a super long time. And that a woman had a contact lens stuck in her eye for 28 years.
Why? How? What did... No, she didn't go anywhere and have it fixed? I mean,
okay,
I have so many questions.
So this is... And it's a gas permeable lens. So
it's a hard contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was complaining of a cyst in her eye, and she had swelling and pain, and her eyelid was sort of drooping. So she went in to have this cyst removed, and upon opening it up, I guess, I'm not quite sure how you remove cysts, the surgeons discovered, oh, that's a contact lens. And it was still whole. It was not broken or anything. It didn't crack until they, tried to get it out. And then they cracked it by, trying to do that. It turns out that...
Had it moved off of her actual iris?
Well, this is the most interesting thing. When she was 14 years old, while playing badminton, she was hit in the eye with a shuttlecock. And she wore rigid contacts at the time. And she couldn't find the contact after the accident. So they just assumed, it sort of got knocked out during the accident because she got hit in the eye and that really hurt. And then she never wore hard contacts again. So she didn't even have this sort of trying to get whatever. And it evidently got sort of not embedded, grown around in her eyelid. And it was just there.
And it wasn't uncomfortable for 28 years? I mean, I'm just thinking of when my contact decides to float up somewhere in my eye. I can feel that sucker.
Yeah.
And I don't even wear hard contacts.
Yeah, I can't quite... You would imagine, the first couple of months when maybe she just thought it was, residual pain from getting hit in the eye by a shuttlecock.
Right.
I don't quite know. It's just... Yeah. So, it was sort of grown around, and I guess once the grown around part got big enough, then it, became painful. And so she was like... Okay, well, this is getting annoying and also kind of causing a drooping in my eyelid, so that's probably something I should go see a doctor about. And then, yeah, you could actually see it on an MRI, and I guess just in 28 years, she had never had a reason to have an MRI of, her head to see that. Because I imagine, if she had ever had an MRI of, anywhere up there, the doctor would have been like, what is that strange gray lump there?
What's going on here?
I don't quite understand. That's not there, and it's only on one side of her head. Maybe we should take a look at that, but yeah. No, never got there by circumstance. And I wear contacts, but I've always worn soft contacts. I've never worn hard contacts, so I never quite even got how you put them in, because I always have to put mine in and then move my eyeball around so it gets on it. And
I've watched my aunt put in hard contacts, and it seems like a whole process. And I wore hard contacts once briefly at the eye doctor. I can't even remember why. And I was like, yeah, if I don't have to wear these? Can we go back to the other ones?
Right, like a pass. But so I felt like I was like, okay, hard contact and get stuck in your eyelid and somehow going around. Ill. But I'm a soft contact lens person, so I'm fine. And then I heard about the story. Both of these women were in Britain, so maybe I'm just going to say there's something about British contacts. We'll just go with that.
Let's go with that.
So last year, doctors found 27 soft contact lenses in a woman's eye. Which, more so than the hard contact lady, this one I'm just like, no, seriously, how did you not? Because
again, when it goes, I can feel it.
When mine moves out of place, it never like gets stuck up anywhere. And I usually just sort of have to like try not to rub too hard and blink my eye until it gets back to place. But yeah, people getting contact lenses stuck places, my first thought would be like, holy crap, I'm freaking out. Let me go to the doctor because I can't find my contact lens and it's somewhere up there.
Okay, can I just interject? This happened to me at work once. I was actually working an internship over the summer in a children's hospital, and my contact, you know how you can feel it kind of goes up on the top of your eyeball. Couldn't find it. I went to the nurse's station. They looked and couldn't find it. So it apparently had fallen out somewhere. But
I now feel you need to go to the eye doctor. Have you been to the eye doctor since?
Oh yeah, this was 15 years ago.
Just because that's what the woman with the 27 contact lenses thought. So these were monthly lenses that she wore and then would take out at the end of the month, and sometimes couldn't find them. So she just thought it had fallen out somewhere, and instead it was somehow migrating up her eye. I guess maybe while she slept or something. I'm not sure, and clumping together. And this was actually 2 different clumps. So there was a clump of 17 lenses and then there was a clump of 10 lenses.
Wow.
And I'm just like, it's not clear how long they've been clumping. She's been wearing these monthly disposable contact lenses for 35 years. So like less than 1 a year, but still.
Wow.
Like, oh my God. And a clump, like I can't even imagine, even if you like compress them together, 17 contact lenses still is sort of a lump.
And was it 17 in one eye and 10 in the other, or were they all in one eye?
They were all in one eye.
So what was up with the other eye?
The other eye was fine. I mean, the other eye was like, I've got my stuff together. I don't know what's going on there.
What's going on with the right eye that it's sucking up contacts like crazy?
Right. I think it was actually her left eye, but it's just like, yeah. And in 2 different lumps, are there like strange, I don't even know if you can magnetize contacts. Like, why are they going specifically to those 2 places? And I don't know the anatomy of an eyeball well enough to, you know, even put a gander towards that. But it's just like, really? After, like, you know, the first couple, if this kept happening where I couldn't find my contact lens when it's time to take it out, I'd probably tell my eye doctor that. Like, I maybe need to switch to a different contact one because this one keeps falling out before time's up. Like, although it's not clear. She did not specifically say, but doctors did think that maybe she did not go for regular appointments.
Yeah.
And that's why this had not been discovered.
Now, you said Britain, right? Mm-hmm. Here in America, you have to get an eye appointment at least. Was it once a year or once every 2 years in order to get you have to have a current prescription or you can't order contacts.
Yeah. So I don't know
how it works there or.
Yeah. And she had come in for a totally different reason. She had come in for surgery for something. And while they were doing and I've only seriously got like a Clockwork Orange and those little things they use to hold your eyes open. I'm sure that's not what it's like. But while they were, you know, attempting to ready her for her surgery, discovered this lump. It's something called a blue mass. And it was just like, I'd be a little like, you know, did I hop into like aliens or something? Like a lump of contact lenses and you never noticed that? And then you find another lump and there was like a super big worry about this because, you know, soft contact lenses, especially if they get stuck in your eye, can possibly lead to like infection. Yeah. So especially for this woman having 2 large clumps, they're like, okay, we have to pause on the surgery and make sure you don't have an infection. So they didn't do it right then. She had to come back later, but she did come back later and get the surgery done and everything was fine. But I'm just like, really? No concern for however many long, because this is at least 2 years because it's all in one eye and it's 27 contact lenses. And this is, you know, 1 lens a month. That's at least more than 2 years.
Right.
Of, my lenses, I just can't find them. never once was like, I kind of want to talk to an eye doctor about different prescription, different type of lenses. Maybe are they stuck in my eye? Why do they keep falling out? Is there something wrong with my eye that it can't hold contact lenses? Like something?
Right.
Vision just sort of freaks me out.
I mean,
I want
and I know,
keep it.
you know, as humans, we can kind of justify or write off a lot of things.
Right.
But 27 contacts? I just don't know. I mean, and I just can't figure out how you wouldn't feel it.
Yeah, more so than anything else. Because, like, I don't, my contacts don't move around too much, but I do sometimes get eyelashes in my eye, and it just hurts. It's like, almost feels like stabbing at times. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that is a small little minuscule piece of hair, and you've got a lump, just a lump of anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, I don't feel it.
Now, and, you know, we've talked about the fact that I have allergies, and so sometimes when I'm having an allergic reaction to something, my eye will swell a little bit, or you know, and that's when they tend to move more. But still, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I fall slightly more to the hypochondriac side of health that I would have so asked my doctor years ago about that. So it's very strange. But thankfully, both women, this was discovered. Both women, their surgeries did seem to go fine. No infections that I read about. So hopefully all is good, and they will henceforth be much more, you know, constant vigilance about their contacts.
Thank you, Mad Eye Moody.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts, past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. So, my mother and I have a thing where when I get in the car, I'll change the music channel because I just don't like her music. Mm-hmm. And she's like, but this is my car. And I'm like, yeah, and you had it all this time. I wasn't there. So now I get to control the music. And then even when we're at home, I'm like, shh, all the time.
Wow. See, in my family, it's always driver chooses.
Yeah, I know that's a rule somewhere, but no. Just no. But so I find this next story very interesting in that a Slovakian woman was arrested for playing the same song for 16 years.
Oh my gosh.
Like the Contact people, I'm like, seriously, you went this long and nobody, because I'm not that patient, so it would have been like, we probably would not get a year, and I'd be like, no, we have to sit down and talk about this. So evidently she started playing this, and it's an opera song. So if you're not an opera fan, it's even more so just like, why? It's the Placido Domingo version of...
Placido.
Is it? Do you
That's
know
the way
opera?
I've always heard it pronounced Placido, but...
But then Domingo? Same
Placido Domingo?
language.
But I don't know.
The Domingo person's version of Verdi's La Traviata. Same song, same version for 16 years. She evidently started playing it to drown out a neighbor's barking dog, which I get. I've definitely heard of like passive aggressive stories of neighbors playing songs to irritate each other.
But then
So
she
why?
just couldn't stop.
Kept playing it for 16 years. And to which my point is, you like reported her sooner than this, right? You did not wait 16 years to like call the cops
Right.
on this woman. It just took this long to
like
get through the legal system.
15 hours, 364 days, you were fine. But boom, January 1st of that, or you know, that first day of the 16th year, you just couldn't take it anymore.
Right? It's like, I was giving her 15, but nope, past 15. Nope. Like 3 strikes to 5 years each. Like, I don't, what? Yeah. So
Wow.
I am seriously hoping that it's more just, you know, this was so not important enough that to get the warrant for arrest just took a really long time because the judge was like, yeah, there's more important things passed.
Yeah. When my brother was in college, I went to visit him, and he's 4 years older than I am, so I was about 16 at the time, and his next door dorm neighbor played Never Gonna what's that song, Give You Up by Rick Astley, and he'd put it on repeat, and then he would leave. He'd go to class and just leave it on repeat, and so my brother would break into his room with a credit card and turn it off. And so I was there, and it had been going for a while, and my brother was like, that's it, we're done. I mean, it didn't take 16 years, let me just say. So he goes next door, and he knocked first. And the guy answers the door, and I'm 16, and the guy answers the door in a purple Speedo, and I was just like, oh,
wow.
oh dear, oh God, oh. I didn't know where to look. I was a very sheltered 16-year-old. But my whole point is that took about a half an hour of on repeat before my brother would go and turn it off.
I have two questions here. Or not even a question, more of a question and then like a statement. Did that resolve peacefully?
Yeah, he was fine. He didn't care if my brother came and turned it off. Yeah, he didn't care.
This feels like his really ineffective alarm system for his except that's like the opposite, because people would want to break in just to turn it off instead of like keeping them from breaking in. So I'm not sure how that'd work. Also, just find it very interesting that your brother's college person was like rickrolling people way long before rickroll was a thing, because I remember that, and that was the most annoying thing like ever. It's just like, I hate you, whoever YouTube maker you are, I hate you, and whoever came up with that idea, I hate you too. That was so annoying. But yeah.
Maybe he should be given credit for starting it.
No. See, and the problem with rickrolling was like, even within the first video, it only took about 10 seconds to just be like, ugh, no repeats going on there. The keep coming across those videos, it was just like, I kind of want to break this computer, but it's not even my computer. And it wouldn't break YouTube, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. She has been arrested. Now it has to go through the whole process of going through the actual court system again, if this was like seriously someone just reported this woman like last month, why? Or was this like a case, because there is evidently neighbors, it's not like, you know, all the neighbors kept moving and no one wanted to deal with this problem. They were just kept, like,
it was a different neighbor every month.
Like someone did talk about like how they love that version but not for 16 years, making it sound like they've been doing this for 16 years, to which I'm like, why didn't you know, report her? Or not that I think you should start like a battle of the bands over your speaker systems, but play something else back, or like, really?
Or knock on her door and say, hi, can you stop playing that for a while?
Or like, if this was a problem with the person with the dog, why do you have to subject all your other neighbors to it? Because it's not like only the person with the dog heard this. The whole, however close they were living together, heard it. And the same version of the same song is just like, you can't at least play like the whole album or like all the different versions to like compare them the way they do with like the different John Valjeans at the end of Les Mis and the 20-year anniversary. Like,
and you know, again, I don't know Slovakian laws, but can you not report the barking dog so somebody would come and talk to the owner?
Right? I just, so many things that I don't quite understand with that story that I'm just like, I can't, I'm not that patient. Wouldn't last that long. But on a different note with the number 16, and 16 is one of my favorite numbers, so I was like, yes, but also weird, but yes. There are, in Arizona, 16 nurses pregnant at the same time at the same hospital.
Hopefully it's not by the same man.
Wow. No, it's not. But they're not even, they all work in the intensive care unit, which right away sort of makes me worried, because they're all, you know.
They're all going to go on maternity leave at the same time.
That's the intensive care unit. That's, you need people there. Like, so the hospital has sort of been planning for this to, you know, well, we're going to be short staffed.
Well, they've had time.
Months, so we're planning for it. But I'm just like, 16 nurses at the same time, and it's not like all of the hospital 16 nurses, all of intensive care unit, even though they are in 3 different units within the intensive care unit, it's still like all of seriously one department.
That's
essentially
amazing.
and it was not a planned thing. This was not like a pregnancy pact.
I was just gonna say, did they have a pregnancy pact?
Not a pregnancy pact. Like, completely, they didn't even notice it at first until they made like a Facebook support group or whatever, and then started noticing how many women were like pregnant, and it's like, oh, what? And if you look at this picture, they all are, even though the due dates are between like September and February, so that's about 5 months, but they all look sufficiently pregnant. I've never been pregnant, so I apologize that I can't get a better word than that I'm just like, wow.
And they're all nurses? They're not support
all nurses.
staff or doctors or
Nope.
PAs or any... Wow.
They're all nurses. They're all wearing blue scrubs. And it's just like, seriously, is there something in the water here? And if so, am I as a patient being subjected to that water?
Right.
Like, what is going on? How did this happen? All in the same, just wow. I cannot even imagine. And again, yeah, hopefully that hospital has like a lot of nurses on call or something, because they all get like 12 weeks maternity leave. So, as we, roll through over 5 months,
Right.
you're going to have a lot of empty spots there. Just be like, wow. Yeah. Not clear that there is anything in the water, and I'm not sure there's ever been anything in the water in cases like that. But yeah, very interesting. Not even, weird, but not bad weird. Interesting weird, and hopefully they all have wonderful, healthy, safe pregnancies.
And hopefully the people they work with aren't so sick of baby showers by the time February rolls around.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of baby showers.
Be careful about the 12th baby, and we've still got
Right.
to go. Oh, man.
You're collecting money again? I thought we just did this.
Like, can't I just reuse something? Like, just buy those, those box cards for thank yous, but box cards for, you're expecting.
Can't the one in September just give all the stuff to the one in February?
Right? Create a roll-through plan or something. Oh, that would be very interesting. I'd like to see that. But anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for listening to the GSMC Weird News Podcast.